Hi folks, my name is Kyle Blankenship. I'm the Copper's Cove editor here with the Killeen Daily Herald newspaper. Today I'll be interviewing Clarence Enochs, who's running for the Place 4 City Council seat for Cove. What is your professional and/or government history, and how does that experience make you uniquely qualified to be a council member?
I, first of all, have served at all levels of law enforcement, from a patrol officer up to serving as a police chief in a small Central Texas community. So I'm aware of some of the inner workings of developing budgets, line items versus other expenditures, and then having the opportunity to interact with the council outside of being a part of the council. I hold a master's degree in management and leadership with a concentration in strategic management. I've had some very, very wonderful mentors at Texas A&M Central Texas that kind of molded my interest in politics, and it gave me some very good opportunities to engage, not just locally, but participate in some formidable projects at the state level and at the national level, which really broadened my networking ability, the individuals that I know, and et cetera. And I'm just very, very involved in the community. I served on the board of directors for the Copper's Cove Chamber of Commerce. I volunteered for at least 9 years with Harker Heights Chamber of Commerce. I'm on the board of the directors at the Coryell County Rainbow Room, which supports abused and neglected children. I'm currently the president of the Exchange Club of Copper's Cove, serving my second year in that capacity. And I think it just was a time of natural progression for me to focus my involvement more where I could be more impactful.
What are the top 3 issues you have identified in Cove, and how will you address those issues as a council member over the next 3 years?
I feel, first of all, that we need to be more organized in our ability to seek out alternate funding sources. That does a number of things. That allows us to improve our parks, our roads, which is probably my second issue, but our roads and some of our infrastructure. It gives us more ability to levy funds towards those, and in defining our quality of life as well, enhancing that quality of life, identifying what it is, and then being able to apply some of those alternate funding sources, some of those sources that by law we have the ability to move and put in those certain areas. I think that's very important. The second area, I think that we need to have a focused plan for strategic economic development, and we need to be more active in our promoting of Copper's Cove, and then engaging business and development in Copper's Cove. I would be in favor in abatements for businesses and major businesses that would come into Copper's Cove and create jobs, not just come and be present, but we want to create opportunities for them to be part of the community. I think that's very important. And then third, or lastly, I believe that we need to assure that our regional or our values, our community values, are promoted and engaged at a regional level. Because sometimes we're far enough west where we're forgotten, but we're still want to remain a very valued part in some of the regional decisions that are made, especially when they apply to resources such as water and sustainable energy plans that are currently underway.
To go back into business, the City of Cove has had recent issues identifying new streams of revenue and expanding new business in the city. What should the city do to boost tax revenue and court more business in Cove?
Well, first of all, I think if you, all of this works together by having vision, mission, and purpose. So as you have more business in Copperas Cove, as you improve quality of life, you have residents follow those things that are offered. That increases the tax base. It's a very basic way to do that. Compounding on the idea of alternate revenue services or alternate revenue sources, there's Proposition 1 that's going to be on the ballot as well. That is for the sale of liquor in Copperas Cove. And it's not a decision about drinking or not drinking or the presence of liquor, but it is a incredible way to stimulate revenue that basically leaves every day. And it's an incredible opportunity to put some of those funds into park projects, into bringing some art and culture into Copperas Cove, or improving upon that. I'm also part of the Art Guild. There's some very, very good ideas with a little bit of incentive and continued support could really expand and change the perception of what a lot of people outside of Copperas Cove have of Copperas Cove.
We'll go right past question 4 on the Prop 1 vote. Moving on here, Cove is known as a veteran-friendly city, mainly due to the city's ongoing relationship with Fort Hood. In light of issues nationally and providing adequate resources and support for veterans, how would you like to see the city improve its relationships with veterans in Cove?
I believe that Copperas Cove and the surrounding area supports veterans like no other community. Personally, and I think I speak for a lot of people, that by virtue of service, veterans, regardless of the time of their service, deserve acknowledgement of the service, deserve to be held protected, and we need to provide all the resources that they need to be able to reacclimate back into normal society when they've been exposed to, in some cases, to such incredible things that you and I probably can't speak of. We have in Copperas Cove 5 of the major organizations that focus on veterans' needs in our community are headquartered there. Operation Stand Down, that focuses on homeless veterans. Star Group Veterans Helping Veterans. The Korean War Veterans Association. We have the state president, who's a resident of Copperas Cove. So I think what we need to do is continue to support those organizations. And as far as I know, the AVAC meeting, the Area Veterans Assistance Council, has never been held. That meeting has never been held in Copperas Cove, and we want to host that meeting. We want to keep, as I mentioned before, keep our values and our principles and our voice into that, and especially when it comes to supporting our veterans.